Okay, guys, I have some very unfortunate news. But apparently, as you guys see this picture here, you guys might know who I'm talking about here in this video. Ozzie Osborne, the one of the most famous singers ever, has passed away at 76 years old. He passed away. Yeah, he passed away at 76 years old. Now, I don't know much about Ozzie Osborne as a person, so I don't know what he was like, but I do know he was very well known for his songs. I'm actually going to talk about him in the video, and I do have actually a good thing in the video, too. Now, that's other thing people might not forget about, might not care about as much, but it's about Pluto and all that, but I figure I'll talk about it later, too, because it's something, that I want to talk about with the sky and all that. But I'll talk about Ozzie Osbourne's death first. It's kind of funny. I'm talking about two separate topics, but I don't really want to have to make another video because I was not planning on making this one right now. But yes. But this will be a news-related video, so if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you guys don't want to watch my news-related videos, then you guys can click off the video. This is just, like I said, there's other content I do on my channel too, but I figured I would make this and all that. I'm using my new phone because my other one, it's charged, but I still have to upload one of my videos on there. And, I don't know, I'm at my mom's house because I've been dealing with some medical problems, and, I'm at her house, and her crap takes forever. It takes forever for stuff to charge. So, I'm just like, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. So, that's why I'm, here. But I won't make this a permanent thing. This is I've been doing a lot of videos like this lately. But trust me, I'm not going to be doing this constantly. So, but, anywho, let's go ahead and actually talk about this. So, yeah, as I stated, Ozzie Osbourne has sadly, like I said, he's passed away at 76 years old. So at least he lived a long life, and he actually made quite a bit of tracks. But he's made quite a bit of tracks. He was actually doing a tour. I don't know if he finished it or not. I'll have to look at that in a second, but I meant to actually look at it before I started the video, but forgot. But yeah, he was on a tour and was dealing with some health problems, So I figured he was probably going to die, but I was not expecting it to happen this quickly. The man, like I said, he was 76 years old, which, in today's world, people are making it to their 90s. A lot of people are making it to their 90s. And soon enough, I think as time goes on, I think people are going to make it to 100, That's why they had that whole thing with the president. Which one was that again? I forgot his name. I'm not very good at remembering presidents' names, but one of them made it to 100. I made a video talking about that. But he actually passed away too. But he was actually having some health problems too at 99 and all that. But he passed away, and he barely made it to 100 and passed away. So people kind of celebrate that stuff. But soon enough, I'm going to tell you, as time goes on, people are going to live a lot longer. It's going to be like Futurama, like, if you guys ever seen Futurama, you guys watch Futurama, you guys, watch that, you notice how, like, the Professor Farnsworth was, like, over 100 years old and all that. Like, he's, like, I think it stated he's 116 or something, 162, I don't remember how old but he's old. And all that, And it kind of makes me think about the world and the future and all that, Like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, I don't know, I'm kind of speculating on this, but I don't know, like having, like, being able to be brought to life. I don't know if want to be a head in a jar, but, like, forever, but, like, like a Futurama, but I wouldn't mind living forever and all that, like, I wouldn't mind living forever, and Ozzie Osbourne Ozzie Osbourne was also, some people probably miss him too, and just imagine like what it'd be like if he were able to stay alive and all that. But unfortunately, technology is not there yet. I think it's getting there though, but it's pretty far away. I know it's kind of funny I'm talking about that, but personally, I'm not looking forward to when I die. I'm not looking forward to that, but hopefully it won't happen anytime soon. Hopefully I can, maybe technology get better. Because I told you guys before, I think I talked about this, I don't believe in the heaven or hell thing. I believe in believe in spiritual stuff. And I believe, like, the whole part where, like, if you die, like, you can't hardly contact with the world, because you're spiritual and stuff, all that, happens. But, yeah, I don't know. But I know it's a funny topic. I'm bringing that up, but Ozzie Osborne has actually sang a lot of songs about hell. And actually, if you guys watch Megamind or Little Nicky, for example, they have his songs in there. Hell, Little Nicky, I believe it's actually Ozzie Osborne that actually appears in that movie. I think he appears there. I could be wrong, but I believe he actually appears in that movie. Like, that's actually him, which is kind of cool, There's actually rumors that there's gonna be a Little Nicky 2. There's rumors about that, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. But I've heard rumors about that for quite a while now. But we are getting a Happy Gilmore 2 and a Spaceballs 2, so who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about the Ozzie Osbourne as a person, but I know, like I said, he was a famous singer. My dad, listens to him and all that a lot. Even on Facebook, he posted something about that. I'm guessing he must have found out he passed. Like, he posts. He does a lot of posts. Honestly, it kind of drives me nuts a little bit, like politics and all that. Like, I told you guys before. He's like a Republican. My mom is kind of a Democrat. With politics. I told you guys I don't really care. I'm like in the middle. I think, like I said, both sides have their problems, but like, seeing these posts and all that, I'm like, I don't really care for them, but that's just me. But I don't know. But he did make a post about that, so I thought he was just making a joke, because he made a lot of jokes about. I mean, he's singing about hell and all that, but apparently, no, he actually did pass away. But, yeah, it just kind of stinks. But, yeah, unfortunately, that's, like, how life goes. Like I said, maybe in the future, people might be able to live longer, or, like, even live forever, we don't know. But right now, I think the future's kind of a little bit, scary, but I mean, I guess it's always kind of been like, there's always something that's scary about it, but I don't know, but yeah, it is sucked that he, passed away and all that. Actually, speaking of which, now that this is actually speaking of living forever, okay, I want to point this out real quick, speaking of politics, now people are talking about Elon Musk apparently putting chips in people's brains and all that, and apparently somehow surviving that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I told you guys I would like to live forever, but I wouldn't want chips in my brain, but, I don't really know if that's even true. It's hard to kind of say what's true or not anymore. But I can tell you guys, it's getting there. Technology's getting there. But like, if I wanted to live forever, I probably would actually put my actual brain in like a robotic suit. I probably do that. Like, I wouldn't want like that to happen. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it does kind of suck. I said Ozzy Osbourne passed away, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I will say, yeah, it does suck, but I will say, like, I don't know him as a person, but like I said, his songs are pretty good. By the way, how he passed away thing, he passed away because of I believe it was like he had like cancer or a disease or something. My mom brought up apparently something about him doing a lot of drugs when he was younger. He was doing a lot of drugs. So I mean, back in his day, drugs were probably not like as illegal as they are now. Now there are some like that are apparently legalized. Like I think what was it like marijuana? Yeah, marijuana is illegal. I mean, it's legal now. At least in Missouri, it's legal and all that. I think pot is. I think you could smoke pot, but some of the stuff is illegal, like heroin and all that. But back in his day, it probably was a little bit different. I don't know exactly when they started getting more strict with that stuff, but it's kind of like smoking too. Like smoking was kind of a big thing, and like by the 2000s, they started kind of, getting more strict with that stuff, But that's probably what happened though. I said he's probably like passed away from that. But the thing is, though, the fact that he looked like this. I mean, he looks old. Like he's got like wrinkles and stuff, but like he doesn't look that bad. He probably dyes his hair though. But he doesn't look that bad. He doesn't look like he looks like, I mean, he looks older, but like he doesn't look super bad. And I can tell you guys, as time goes on, I've noticed like each generation of people, I've noticed like a lot of them are like aging slower too and all that. Which again, probably a lot of it because again, back in the day, like I said, drugs and smoking and all that was different back then. People were smoking a lot more too, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he doesn't look that bad. But I mean, this could be an older picture of him too. I don't know. I'm actually gonna go ahead and actually pause the video for a second. Because I want to see, before I move on to my next topic, I want to see if he actually was able to go to his last concert. Let's see here. Okay, so apparently he actually did get to make it to his concert. So at least people got to see him one last time before he died. But I mean, people have seen him many times, but like at least he was able to do his last concert, But yeah, the thing is though, again, he was like I said, he had health problems, and he was like, and he barely made it out of that one. No, I'm pretty sure that's him. That's from Little Nicky. That is him. So he actually did play, and he did play in Little Nicky. Sometimes they'll use like actors or something, but I guess most of the time they'll probably use like real people to like, like to actually play in this stuff, instead of like, because then it's like, what's the point of having like these famous people playing these movies if that's the case. That's crazy, though. But that's what he looks like. I mean, yeah, he looks older, but he doesn't look that bad for being 76. That's the thing, too. Like, I will tell you this. Even right now, like, apparently you can buy products and all that. Like apparently there's something called Keeps. You can actually get your hair to grow back and you're balding and all that. And then you got, like, you can get rid of wrinkles and all that. That's really crazy, though, how we have all that stuff, but there's nothing, I think, for, like, making your hair stay colored yet, but I'm just telling you guys, like, it's happening fast. My problem is with people living forever, though, is it can be very scary. Like, it can be very scary and all that, like, I mean, imagine if somebody could, let's say, bring back Hitler, for example. Hitler from the, dead and all that, like. I mean, yeah, he would have died, years ago, but, like, his remains can still be around, and I'm just saying that could be very scary. But, I don't know. I don't know how they'll do that, but I told you guys, like, I would want to be brought back to life, but because I could, be guidance and all that, but I'm just saying. I don't know. But I guess I'm gonna move on from this, and we're gonna talk about Pluto now, because I talked about this for a little while, and I don't have a lot to say about it because, like I said, I don't know the Ozzie Osborne himself. But I'm gonna move on to talk about Pluto now. All right, we got Pluto here. I like how it shows the dog too. That's pretty funny. I wonder what would have been first. Like, would Pluto be first, or like would have Disney's Pluto be first? I'm not really sure. But yeah, here's Pluto here. I was gonna say, apparently, by the end of this month, not in this month, like, yeah, by the end of this month, on Friday, that's when they say that it's gonna be the best time to see Pluto in the sky. So if you guys want to see Pluto in the sky, you guys can look up at the stars and see it. You can see Pluto in the sky. And now Pluto, I'll say this, Pluto, the last time Pluto was actually reported, because they say there's a rare chance where you'll see every planet in the solar system in the sky at once, except Earth, because obviously you can't see Earth because we are on Earth. But apparently you could see Pluto and all that on there too. The last time that happened, I believe, was in the early 2000s. Like, I think it was 2003 or 2004, a few years before Pluto was classified as a dwarf planet. And I still find that ironic. They say Pluto is not a planet, but then they call it a dwarf planet. I'm like, sounds like it's a planet to me. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of shit going on with Pluto. It's like some people are saying that Pluto is not a planet because, it's not a planet because, it doesn't rotate around the sun. Some are saying it's too small to be a planet and all that. And I'm just like number one. I'm like, with it being too small to be a planet, it's like saying a person is. I even responded to some people. I'm like a person is a person. Are you saying like a person who is a small, like a midget or something, is not a person? Is that what you guys are saying? Or heck, I'll say this real quick. Somebody in the comments was like trying to like correct me and all, and I'm just like saying like a person's a person. Pluto is a space object or something. And I'm like, still, that just makes it more confusing. And then also, Pluto, of course it hasn't rotated the freaking sun, because they say it rotates awkwardly, and I think it does, but like, of course it hasn't rotated around the fucking sun yet. It was discovered, back in I think the 1920s or 30s. It was discovered. So I'm just like, the fact that they're trying to say that, because it won't rotate around the sun completely until the year 2100 or something. I don't know, 2130 or something like that. I don't remember. I can look at that in a second too. But I'm just like, again, I feel like these are just a bunch of talking heads who don't, and NASA and all, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're also trying to say that, like, they have not found life on planets, but then they say they did and all that. They're like going back and forth on it. I'm just like, which one is it, I don't know. The whole thing is just freaking confusing, but I heard to go get Pluto on the actual there too. It's pretty funny. Hold on, let me actually look at that real quick. I'm going to look at when Pluto first was discovered, and then the other one. Okay, it was discovered in 1930. Okay, February 1930. And ironically, discovered in 30 in February. February is known as Valentine's Day, and that's what Pluto is very known for. Is its heart? It's heart shaped. On the planet, or the dwarf planet, whatever people want to call it. Again, I'm still gonna call it a planet no matter what, but I'm just saying. Now let's see, when is it actually going to, when is it actually going to, be, rotate around the sun completely? But actually, first, let's look when Pluto, Disney character came. Oh my God, he was introduced, and apparently, and he was introduced in 1930 as well. That's really funny. That's ironic. Also, there's that YouTuber there I don't really like. I'm still subscribed to him, but I'm kind of like, but yeah, I don't like that Dave YouTuber much anymore. Like, I liked his evolution videos, but I kind of hate how toxic he gets towards people who disagree with him, especially when it comes to like, Disney and all that. And he starts praising a lot of stuff. Like, he hasn't been doing it a lot lately, but in the past he did. But yeah, I don't watch his content much anymore. I'm still subscribed to him, but I've been kind of thinking about going back and forth because, I mean, I like I mean, I want him to be a good YouTuber because he does do all that cool stuff. But on the other hand, he's kind of a shitty person when it comes to, other people and all that. I don't know. Like, I'm giving him another chance, but he hasn't really been uploading a lot lately. But yeah, he can be. He seems like a very Disney hard, very Disney heart, person. Like he's a big Disney fan and all that. Like, I mean, you can be a fan of a company, but don't go shitting on other people for their opinions. And I think he does that because he gets good stuff, because he gets early access to stuff and all that. Yeah, he does that on his channel. He talks about that all the time. But I don't know. But that is ironic, though. I said that Pluto, Pluto came out the same year as on Disney as it did as a planet. It was discovered. That's very funny. I like that. It does say down here, this is when it was here, featured in a short, but that's crazy. It says the first appearance, the chain gang. But yeah, apparently. Oh, apparently that's going to show that down there. Okay, I thought I was talking about Disney as well there, but that is really ironic. So it looks like they didn't start really using him a lot until after that year, but that was when he was introduced. So that's very ironic. It doesn't say exactly when he was first. Oh, wait, right here it did. So September. So he came out later that year. But that's very funny. I don't remember why Pluto was named like it was. But they do say that Pluto is apparently the underworld. Is supposed to be another word for Hades or the devil. So it's like underworld. He's the king of the underworld or something. And then we have Charon, which is Pluto's moon, which I think might be Hades' or whoever you want to call it, Satan's, wife, or maybe like that. I don't know. I don't know much about Greek and all that, but that's just crazy though. I'm not gonna look that up because I don't want to make a whole educational thing on this, but I'm just saying there's a lot of interesting lore about some of this stuff. But let's go ahead and do the other thing I was gonna do here, and that to look up what year the Pluto will complete its rotation around the sun. Oh, here we go. Alright, so it says here Pluto takes, okay, let's see here. Yeah, since its discovery, it'll basically be first complete its orbit around by March 23rd, 2107, 78. So that's quite a ways away. So that'll be over another 100 years when that happens. Still classified as a dwarf planet, but again, it's still classified as a dwarf planet, but it still has the planet name in it, so. I think eventually it'll probably be classified as a planet again. It probably will be. There's like a whole bunch of different stories of why it is. I even brought up, apparently there's another story about people saying that there's too many planets in the solar system. For Pluto to be, like, there's too many planets in the solar system. And like having it be part of the Kuiper belt and all that, there'd be too many. Too many, names out there, like, for kids to remember and all that. I'm just like, well, you guys are discovering a bunch of planets outside the solar system, and you guys are still trying to find this planet X, Yeah, they're trying to do that still. I'm like, why can't it be a planet, I don't get it. And I think some of the Kuiper belt stuff can be planets, too. Not all of them. Some of them do look more like asteroids or something, like I think, but some of those could be probably still planets, and be part of the Kuiper belt and all that. But it's kind of like the asteroid belt, between, Mars and Jupiter, Like, that separates the inner and outer planets. That one, a lot of those were classified as planets in the past, too. But there were so many of them, they decided to just classify them as something else. Which, that's fine, because they don't have a moon, they're not round, they're just like that, I don't know. But, yeah, but my point is, in this video, is you can see Pluto in the sky. Like, right now, I think you can see it in the sky, but it's going to be best noticed, on Friday and all that of this week. So, I guess you guys can check that out later. In Arizona. Because of this, okay. Yeah, again, it's just so stupid. But again, I'm just like, again, it doesn't make any sense. I just like, again, they're trying to say it's not a planet, but then they're saying it's classified as a dwarf planet, but it's still a planet. I don't know. It's just confusing. I guess it'd be like I said, with the whole it's like let's say like human beings with like transitions and all that from like female to male and all that, but in that case though, that'd be different because technically they don't look like this or that. Like Pluto actually looks like a planet, where like if like a human were to change the way they look and all that, they'd be classified as something different in people's eyes, but I don't know. It's just whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing go from here. Rip to Ozzie Osborne, and I guess look forward to Pluto, in the sky, which is something I'm looking forward to, But I don't know if I'll be able to take any pictures of it because it'll be too far away from the, from my camera, not be bright enough. But I don't know. I'll see you guys all later. Bye bye.